You're on mute.
Thank you. What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. Our guy, Matt Llewellyn, will be joining us shortly. He is headed home off of work in a bit. Boy, what a game. What a game. Before we get into it, though, if you guys are watching on X, do us a solid, hit like and repost. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit like and subscribe. Hop in the chat. We want to hear your thoughts. What are you guys feeling after this game? Are you elated? Are you still exhausted? I couldn't sleep last night. It's just so much going on, but hop in the chat, hit like and subscribe. We really appreciate the support. 5 ties, 22 combined drives ending in points or heartbreak, and a goal line stand as time expired. Mike, the 49ers outlast the Bears 42-38. One of the wildest primetime finishes, one of the wildest finishes in general of the year. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I went back and the drinks are flowing. You know how I do on my overreaction shows, man. The drinks are flowing and all that good stuff. And then I stop and I look at the time this morning, and I woke up around the time that I should have been halfway to my job. And I told you I got like an hour drive, so I'm rushing, I'm hurrying up, I'm trying to get back out there, man. And I go back and I was like, why? I didn't hear my alarm. My wife was like, you turned your alarm off when it went off. Like, you turned it off. I didn't remember. So I go back and I looked and I saw that I did a 2.5 hour overreaction show. I just didn't realize it was that long. Like, I remember the entire show, I was in it, but I just don't remember it being that long. So it was good though, man. We had a good time, man. Everybody at my job is sick. There's something going around. So I'm hoping that I don't catch anything from those guys. They're all walking around coughing and stuff. I'm like, put mask on, guys. Like, what are you guys, like, get away. Like, so it's like, I don't know, man. But I'm doing good, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're back. He did not, that pick six came back, Niner Faithful.
So I'm saying, yeah. Damn. Yeah, happy to be back. I missed the preview show. Wasn't feeling good. I think I caught something on Christmas, so happy to be back. But boy, what a game that was last night. My Apple Watch is giving me heart rate notifications. Your heart rates are dangerously high. I mean, it was crazy. The Niners took care of business, like I said, 42-38, and I have a very nice outline here to go off of. So I broke down drive by drive, not too detailed, but I wanted to just go live it through like we do, relive the game, and stop me at any point so we can get your thoughts, or I'll ask you questions if I have any. So obviously, 42-38, an immediate pick six to start the game. Immediate first throw of the game. Brock throws for Juwan. Jalen Johnson, you can argue he was making a play for the ball. You can argue it was pass interference. You could argue it was a bad throw. Contacts Juwan. Ball goes flying up in the air. TJ Edwards catches it. Pick six. Runs into the end zone. On top of all of that, Trent Williams gets hurt. Pulls his hamstring trying to chase TJ Edwards into the end zone. Immediately, how you feeling after that play, Mike?
I wasn't happy that it was a pick six, but I was really glad that they got the interception out the way. When Matt and I did the preview show, that was one of the first things I said. I said, I want this to be like a Jimmy G game. You're going up against a team that leads the league in turnovers. Matt pointed something out to me that was interesting. It completely blew my mind. I thought that the Bears had 21 or 22 interceptions or turnovers on the year. That was their differential. They were plus 22. They had over 30 turnovers on the season. So I was like, I knew one was coming once Matt told me that. I said, let's go ahead and get it out the way early. I didn't know it was going to happen on the first drive, or like right out the gate like that, right? But I was like, all right, it's going to be a lot of game left. Like, we get it out the way. Now we just got to come back out here and answer. And I didn't find out that Trent was hurt until they started the second offensive drive for the Niners, when you see Austin Pleasance out there in the lineup. So
Yeah. It was really unfortunate. I have the 49ersHive group chat muted during the games just because sometimes people are ahead of us, but I had it open and I saw Joey send a text message of a crying face, and I'm like, shit, dang, what could this be in relation to? And 5 seconds later, I'm seeing on my screen that going the other way. And immediately I saw on X, I think it was Jennifer Lee Chan, talk about how Trent Williams was on the bench or in the blue tent immediately. And I'm like, oh my God, come on, man. So that was not great. Not a great start whatsoever. 15 seconds into the game, the Niners are down 7-0. But the Niners get the ball back, and boy, did they respond. They get on a 9-play, 65-yard drive that included, let me pull it up here. You had a 3-yard run by McCaffrey, 18-yard pass by Jake Tonjes, who turned into George Kittle Jr. last night, 9-yard run by McCaffrey, 1-yard run, and then on 1st and 10 after an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, Purdy hits Tonjes again for 8 yards, 3rd and 2, Purdy hit Robinson for 25 yards. And boy, was this a go up and play the ball kind of play, because that one could have gone the other way. And I was a little nervous. I'm like, what kind of Purdy are we getting here? But he threw that ball up. Demarcus Robinson went up and got it all the way down to the 1-yard line, I believe. And then the next play, Purdy rolls out to the left. Jake Tonjes is standing in the back of the end zone completely alone, and Purdy just kind of dots it to him. So very, very impressive response. Were you feeling any calmer after that, Mike?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was hyped. I was fired up. I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about, like let's go, man. Long game. You know, one play doesn't define us. You know, like it's like people were like, oh, here we go. This version of Purdy is back. Like, you know, it was like, you know, you started hearing that already. I'm like, nah, I'm not buying that, man. It was one throw. Like, come on, guys, we got a lot of game left. And then he comes out and the offense is humming, you know, right out the gate. I like that they went. I think my favorite part of the whole second drive, because the first one and then the pick six, was the very first play. Kyle went right back to the air. Hey, we're not going to sit here and try to hand this off because you're rattled. No, we're going to play our game the way that we planned on playing it. Like, we're not going to do that here, because we've seen Kyle get conservative after a bad play before, or a bad turnover, or even a penalty. You know, so I really, really like that. He came out throwing the ball, and they marched right back down the field.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, the first play of that second drive was a pass. It was incomplete to Ricky, and again, you could argue it was PI, but that's okay, because 2nd and 10, you had a 3-yard run, and then on 3rd and 7, he hit Tonjes for 18, like I said. So very impressive response. And then the 49ers kick off, and the Bears go 3 and out. Defense looked really good. Got Caleb Williams off his spot, incomplete pass, they get a short run, and they punt. The Niners get the ball back, and they do hit an 11-yard pass to Tonjes, but they failed to convert the following 3rd down, so then they punt. The Bears again go 3 and out, and the Niners get the ball back. This is the 6th drive of the game, and boy, this is when the offense just started humming, because they get the ball. 1st down, Christian McCaffrey records his longest rush of the season, 41 yards, which gets the 49ers down to the Bears' 25-yard line. B-Rob had a 15-yard run after that. Before you know it, it's 1st and goal from the 10. Brock Purdy snaps the ball, scrambles in for the end zone, punches it in on the ground, gives the 49ers a 14-7 lead early on. What are your thoughts here, Mike?
I'm ready to roll, man. A defensive 3 and out. You know, I was hyped up about that. Little did I know, but yeah. So I was like, all right, the defense is here to play this game. Like, I'm ready. Like, we're ready on offense. Like, let's go, man. Like, this is the Purdy I like. Purdy's out there getting his little groove and everything already. Like, I like this dancing version of Purdy, man. I like the swag, man. He's always done like little subtle things, right? I felt like he was still trying to prove himself. Now he's like, no, I'm here, and the league has got to deal with me. His personality is starting to show a little bit more now, and I like it. So I was fired up, man. You know, 14-7 at this point. We spotted them on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is no spoilers, Dre. Yeah, we had Dre in the live watch party on Patreon, man. Like, all the spoilers were coming, like, guys, like, will you cut it out? Like, stop it, please. So yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I mean, it was a great response. 3 plays, that's all it took. 3 plays, 66 yards, and the 49ers get in the end zone with a Brock Purdy rushing touchdown, his first of the night. And my immediate thought was, thank God the 49ers defense got us a couple of 3 and outs so that the offense could go and recapture the lead, right? Because they get a pick 6, The Niners are then playing catch up from there on, but the Niners defense allowed them to catch up and then take the lead. So very, very appreciative of that. The seventh drive of the game started out with a 10-yard pass to Luther Burden, who was absolutely carving up the 49ers defense. This was just the start of it. 8-yard swift run, 9-yard pass to Komet. Bethune got penalized for a low block, which is like the first time I've ever seen this called on a defensive player. So that added 15 yards. And before you know it, they're at the 49ers 35-yard line.
That play there really pissed me off because he actually made the tackle. So
yes.
he got skinny between the. So he had three people in front of him. They had the little screenplay. It was like a little convoy. He got skinny between the two guys and threw his shoulder to make the tackle. And I'm like, I still think that was a BS penalty. I don't think they should have called that at all. But you know, what do I know? I'm just someone at home watching the game, right? But it was like, come on, man. Like, who did he block? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't block anyone. He made the tackle. So
right. I mean, there's an offensive lineman in between him and Komet. But what is he supposed to do? Just not attempt to make the tackle? Just let him get, like, it's a really dumb penalty, in my opinion, because he's not blocking anybody. He's going for the tackle. Maybe the onus should be on the offensive lineman to not put himself in between the ball carrier and defensive player. I don't know. So 1st and 10 from the 49ers 35-yard line. Williams hits Burden with a 35-yard touchdown pass. This game, this is the wrong. Never mind. I was going to say this is the one where there's a free play, but it's the next one. Alfred Collins penalized for leverage. They enforced the 15-yard penalty on the ensuing kickoff.
Another BS penalty, by the way.
I can't stand that. Yeah.
If you look at the Niners, because of this rule, we don't even line up anybody over the long snapper. He didn't touch him.
No.
So he didn't touch him until the guy looked up and engaged with him. Like, so it was a terrible call. The Niners purposely don't line anybody up over the long snapper so that way they don't get that penalty. It was a bad call. I don't know if officials go out and have to release like, all right, we messed up type of thing, but that was a bad call right there.
It was really frustrating. And now what kickers are doing when they get the 15-yard penalty on the ensuing kickoff, they just kick it out of bounds because the penalty is 15 yards from where you kicked it. Since they're kicking off at midfield or 25 yards from where you kick it or something like that, they get the ball at the 25. So instead of it going at the 40, you get it at the 25. So that's what they did. The 49ers start their next drive at their 25-yard line, and they responded like they did all night. Started off with an incomplete pass to Pearsall, and then Purdy hit Pearsall for 30 yards, 7-yard run by McCaffrey. By the way, the first quarter just barely ends here. It was an hour real time that the first quarter was going on. It barely ended there.
That's what I was going to say. It felt like the longest first quarter I've ever watched in my life. Yeah.
It was insane. It was absolutely insane. 2nd and 11, Purdy hit Pearsall for another 13 yards, which was followed by a 16-yard CMC run. Gets you all the way down to the 5-yard line, and on 1st and goal, McCaffrey punched it in on the ground. 49ers took the lead 21-14. And boy, am I thinking this offense, is humming. And it was great. Stop me if you have anything to say, but if not, I'll just keep going. 21-14. Falcons get the ball back. And it only took them 3 plays to tie things back up. But I'm saying that with an asterisk because 11-yard pass to Manungai. After that, Kalia Davis jumps off sides. Half of the Bears' offensive line moves. They're all sitting there. They snap the ball. Everybody's standing there for like a second and a half. But the refs just let it play on. And Colston Loveland, before you know it, is in the back of the end zone or the front of the end zone. And Caleb Williams hits him for a 36-yard touchdown. Play should have been blown dead. In my opinion, Kyle said the same thing when he was interviewed going into halftime. He thought the play should have been blown dead. I always see the play blown dead in that situation, especially when the offensive line moved. It wasn't like just the defensive line. It wasn't like Davis just jumped and then got back late. The whole right side of the offensive line moved. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, but that was really frustrating because it cost us 7 points.
Right, yeah. I think everybody took the rest of that play off except... You can't hear me? Hello?
Can't hear you.
No? All right, just go ahead.
Chat, let me know is it just me? Can you guys hear? Let me test my audio.
Mic check. You can't hear me? Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Hello, mic
Okay, I
check.
got it's my
Okay.
headphones keep cutting out for some reason. I don't know what it is. So it must be me.
Oh,
I'm
I got
sorry.
you. All right. No, I was. It was starting to feel like the officials wanted to keep the Bears in this game. Like I was getting really annoyed. Like those three penalties, or I'm like, come on, man, like enough already. So, but it is what it is. And I was just like, all right, we're gonna have a long game here. Like this, let's get ready for a shootout here. Like that's what I felt. The defense just started to fall apart after those first 2, 3 and outs, and then it was just like, all right, like let's just see who breaks first.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it really did seem like that. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to, make an error outside of the pick six? But yeah, it was really frustrating. They took advantage. Oh, well. So the 49ers get the ball back tie 21-21. And what do? They answered again. 10-yard pass to Jake Tonjes. 10-yard run by Sky Moore. I was hyped because I've been asking for Sky Moore to get involved more in the actual offense. They did get him involved, and what do you know it? He had a 10-yard run. Purdy then got sacked by Austin Booker for a 7-yard loss. Thankfully, Brock Purdy had the awareness to get down like half a second before Booker was about to hit him from behind, because if not, he would have gotten drilled very hard. Pause. So it's a 7-yard loss, which then made it 2nd and 17. And I'm thinking, all right, we're behind the sticks now. Here we go. But fear not. Purdy hits Christian McCaffrey for 14 yards to make it 3rd and 3. But on 3rd and 3, he can't connect with Jake Tonjes. So it's 4th down. Kyle's feeling himself. He keeps the offense out there. And it was the right decision because Purdy hits Pearsall for 14 yards across the middle. A few more Christian McCaffrey runs and a Juwan Jennings catch later. We're now sitting at 3rd and goal from the Chicago 7-yard line. Now, Purdy drops back to pass and he's intercepted by CJ Gardner-Johnson, but there's a penalty. And there's a penalty on CJ Gardner-Johnson for illegal use of hands to the face on Ricky Pearsall. He clearly grabbed Ricky's face and pushes it. Ricky's head's whole going to the side. But you'll see Bears fans online saying that it's a BS, including CJ Gardner-Johnson himself, saying that it's BS, that, they can't believe they called that in that moment. You just can't let it. It's a penalty. It's literally a penalty. Nobody made you grab him by the face. So instead of it being an interception, the 49ers get 1st and goal at the 3, and the next play, Brock Purdy runs in his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. Mike, any thoughts on the penalty? Any thoughts on the score?
Just keep on dancing, Brock. That's it. Like that's all I'm thinking, man. Like, listen, it's us against everybody. Like, let's go. That's how I felt, man.
Bobo Harris, they did not get 1 sack in the Bears game. That's unacceptable. That is probably the best offensive line the 49ers will face for the rest of the season, in my opinion. Like, the Bears have one of, if not the best, comprehensive all-around offensive lineman. They invested heavily in it. They got Drew Dahlman. They got Joe Tooney. They already had Darnell Wright. Like, that's a really, really good offensive line. Plus, Caleb Williams is kind of hard to sack as it is. So I'm not too upset that they didn't get to him. When it mattered most, they got him off his spot. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, and that was another one of my predictions for the game. The Niners aren't going to get any sacks in this game. We got to hope that the secondary shows up to play. My focus for the defensive line is no longer about sacks. Like this, just copy and paste this for every game going forward. Not that I don't think we're going to get sacks anymore, but that's not the focus. It's stopping the run. That's what they built this defensive line for. So that was a hyper focus of our offseason. The Bears invested in their offensive line. We invested in run stoppers. So that's what I was worried about in this one.
Yeah. Agreed 100%. I didn't make the preview show, but like I took a bet of Bryce and I think it was Okawanu each under half a sack, because I didn't think we were going to get any pressure. And we did get some pressure, but we didn't get home on them. So now the Bears, There's 3:23 left in the first half. The Bears are getting the ball after the 49ers took a lead, 28-21 lead. Can the 49ers get a stop before half? They got 2 to start the game. Can they get one more here? And they actually did, which was very important because the Bears deferred the opening kickoff, so they were getting the ball to start the third quarter. They're only up 7, the Niners that is, so it's a very risky game if they were going to allow the Bears to go get points and then double up on them to start the third quarter. So it's very important they did not, and sure enough, they picked up 1 first down, but Sam Okuwanu pressured Caleb Williams into throwing an incomplete pass on the following 3rd and 7, and they were forced to punt with about a minute left. Now, could the Niners get some points before half and go up 2 scores? They got the ball at their own 9-yard line with just over a minute left in the half. First down, Purdy scared the hell out of me, drops back into his own end zone, almost gets sacked for a safety, kind of evades at the last second, scrambles up for a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. Oh, by the way, Ben Johnson's calling timeouts after each of these plays, thinking that they're going to get the ball back and like call it kick a field goal or something, right? So first timeout after Purdy's 2-yard scramble, McCaffrey runs for 6 yards, and on 3rd and 2, Ben Johnson calls another timeout, but Purdy hits Tonjes again for 5 yards. Ben Johnson stops calling these timeouts. He feels like an idiot, but that's all right because the 49ers weren't able to get into scoring range anyway, but they did get a nice draw to McCaffrey to add 17 yards onto his rushing total for the day. They go into half up 28-21. Mike, how you feeling at this point?
Yeah, at this point, it set in for me that McCaffrey wasn't going to, we still have one more game, but I had already at this point accepted that Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to set the 1,000 yard. He'll have the 2,000 all purpose, but he's not going to get the 1,000 unless something crazy happens next week. But at halftime, I'm sitting here like, yeah, he's not going to do it. Like they're not going to. He's running the ball way too well. I think he had in the first half like 100 and
over 100
how many yards
rushing.
But yeah, so just rushing. Yeah. Sorry.
How was your confidence level for the 49ers as a whole to win this game at halftime?
Oh, man, was it high. Boy, was it high, man. I thought Robert Saleh was going to make some second-half adjustments. I was wrong. But my halftime show, man, I'm out there and I'm rallying the troops. You know, I'm telling people, like, you know, don't forget what they call us. We're the faithful. Everyone's panicking. Like, we can't stop them. They're driving up and down the field. I'm like, yeah, well, guys, we've stopped them a couple of times in this first half already. So I don't know, man. I just think that at this point, I'm like, all right, we got it. Like we're here, we're built for this. This offense is built for this. Like I was hyped up. So I thought the defense was going to make some changes, though. That was my thinking heading into halftime. Like the defense is going to make some stops.
And we weren't foolish for thinking that, right? Like the past 3 to 4 weeks, like Robert Saleh has made those second half adjustments, and the 49ers defense has looked much better in the second half. And I think I even went as far as texting our group chat saying they may not score more than 10 points in the second half. So that's what I was hoping for. But that was clearly not the case, as we'll see. The Bears get the ball to start the third, and they wasted no time going right down that field. 11-yard pass to Smythe, 7-yard pass to DJ Moore. A few runs later, Williams hits Walker, 19 yards down, and they're just like that, down to the Niners' 27-yard line. The next play, Williams hit Burden for 24 yards down to the Niners' 3-yard line. And although they held out for the first 2 plays, on 3rd and goal, Swift gets into the end zone to the right side, basically untouched. Frustrating sequence of plays. Tied up 28-28. Now the 49ers, this is drive 14 of the game, get the ball back. And first play, 25-yard pass to Kendrick Bourne. A few runs later, and they're already at 1st and goal to the 6-yard line. Like, this running game was cooking. 25-yard pass to Bourne, 4-yard run by McCaffrey, 6-yard run by McCaffrey, Juszczyk 8-yard reception, 5-yard run by McCaffrey, Tonjes 12-yard reception, but Austin Booker was offside, so it's a 5-yard penalty, and McCaffrey stuffed on 1st and goal. Stuffed on 1st and 5 from the 12-yard line. And before you know it, it's 1st and goal from the 6. And Brock Purdy with an amazing play. Absolutely amazing play. He scrambles to his left, evades Austin Booker, rolls back around, steps back, lets the second defender come, steps up, looks like he's going to run it to draw in the 2 linebackers, or I don't know if it's a linebacker and a safety. And as he's doing all of that, Kyle Juszczyk's right there in the front corner of the end zone, and Brock Purdy just boop, dumps it in, and that was probably the hardest spike I've ever seen from Kyle Juszczyk, and the 49ers retake the lead 35-28. Mike, were you in awe? Like, Tell me you were just as in
Listen,
awe.
man, I was like, Brock Purdy is officially the guy. Like I had to take back all the stuff I said about him in the beginning of the season and everything. Like Brock Purdy is the guy, man. And again, the confidence that he was out there having fun, man. And the best part about that all was he's doing all that scrambling, running around back and forth and all that. So what I was worried about was that they were going to say he was over the line. So watching it live, you can see the what's it called?
Yeah,
The hyper
line of scrimmage.
the black
Oh,
line
yeah.
that they put on there. And so I
Superimposed.
saw him going over it. Yeah, there you go, superimposed. I saw him go over it, and then like I see him make the throw, but they kind of change angles like right at the same time, so I couldn't see exactly where his body was. But he completes the pass and just sprints to the sideline. I loved everything that Brock Purdy was doing, man. Like, and then that play right there, that play was so good that Chris Collinsworth had to admit that he's a Patrick Mahomes nut guzzler. Like, sorry. But
No,
yeah,
you're good. You're
we're past
good.
the 8 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
he had to admit, like, oh, if that was Patrick Mahomes, I'd be screaming. All right, so then scream now. Like, you shouldn't be hyped that a player is doing it. You should be hyped that the play happened. So it's like, dude, like he had to admit how much he's on Patrick Mahomes' dick because of how good Brock Purdy was out there on that play in particular. So I absolutely love it. I loved it.
Not only that, but you should be screaming even more because it isn't Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, that's what you expect out of multi-Super Bowl winner, MVP. Brock Purdy, the 49ers fans know how good he could be, but he hasn't really had his flowers by the national media. So it's like, you should be singing his praises on national television in a game where he's balling out. He just made an insane play, yet he still had to bring up Patrick Mahomes. They still brought up Travis Kelce. I think I even heard Pacheco mentioned. It's like, Jesus, dude, give it a rest. It's like that SpongeBob meme. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, come on, Mike. Like the flowers are for us right now. Like, forget all these other people. Like, just stop and just watch what you're seeing right now and appreciate it for what it is, man. Since Brock Purdy's return, man, he has been on absolute fire. These last 3 games in particular, Brock Purdy is just doing amazing things. Being responsible for, I'm getting ahead of it, but being responsible for 10 touchdowns in 2 games is insane. And both of the picks off of the hands of somebody else.
Yep.
I'm not blaming him for either of those. Like, I mean, come on, man. This guy, he's locked in, and this is what we were calling for to start the season, right? It's going to be time for the offense to carry the defense, but who knew it was going to be without so many key players? I mean, I'm looking at how we're driving up and down the field, and I have to keep reminding myself, like, Trent Williams is not out there. You know what I'm saying? George Kittle is not out there, and all they kept showing at the start of the game was this is what the Niners have with Kittle in the lineup, without Kittle in the lineup,
right.
with Trent Williams in the lineup, without Trent Williams in the lineup. And they're talking about how we can't run the ball and the points and all that stuff. It goes down. It's like Brock's like, yeah, all right, hold on. Brock and Kyle, I mean, man, were they in sync. I absolutely love it.
Which, by the way, prior to last night, the Niners were 4-12 with games that Trent Williams did not play in. So they, barely picked up their 5th win out of 17 games. So really impressive stuff by the 49ers to retake the lead. Their first drive of the third quarter, 35-28, but it didn't last long because the Bears answered with their own 10-play, 80-yard drive that consisted of a 27-yard pass to Luther Burden on 3rd and 8, mind you, chance to get off the field, an 11-yard pass to Walker on 2nd and 11, and on 3rd and 11 again after an offensive holding penalty, Williams scrambles for 6 yards. They end up going for it on 4th and 5, and Williams hits Loveland for 9 yards. Wide open, by the way. One play later, DeAndre Swift ran it in from 22 yards out, which was like arguably the most embarrassing play of the night because it should have been a tackle for a loss, right? It should have been, I forget who was there. I want to say Huff was there first. He gets by the first guy, and then Malik Mustafa completely overruns him. And then Jair Brown takes the wrong angle, so Swift just gets in untouched from 22 yards out to tie it up again. If you have any thoughts, please stop me. If not, I just want to say this is for the first time in NFL history, a game was tied at 7-7, 14-14, 21-21, 28-28, and 35-35. Just absolutely insane stuff. We saw all the memes. We're watching gods call football tonight, and 2 really good quarterbacks because they were just going tit for tat. I mean, boom, boom, boom. It was, those videos of like professional fighters just landed blows after on. Yeah, that's what last night was. So insane. The 49ers offense then gets the ball back after the Bears tie it up. And would you believe me if I said they did not score? They did not get into the end zone. They did not even get a field goal, Mike. Game's tied 35-35. Niners get the ball back. 14:54 left in the fourth quarter. They were only able to pick up one first down, and they were forced to punt. For the first time since the first quarter, by the way. This drive consisted of an 8-yard pass to Pearsall, McCaffrey 5-yard run, on which Pooney was flagged for 10 yards, Purdy 5-yard scramble, a 20-yard pass to Pearsall on third down, but then it was followed by an incompletion, a 3-yard run by Brian Robinson, and then a incomplete pass on third down again. So they have to punt, and the Bears get the ball back. They are pinned to their own 11 to start the drive. Williams hits Luther Burden for a 25-yard catch and run to start, which is like, damn, because Kyle said right here, yeah, Niner Faithful, they asked him afterwards, and he said, I thought I lost the game when I punted instead of going for it. Like, I should have probably went for it. He was second-guessing himself, but Luther Burden gets 25 yards on a catch and run. After runs of 3 and 6, the Bears have a 3rd and 1 at their own 45. Williams calls his own number, gets like 5 yards on a quarterback sneak. Just insane. The 49ers couldn't even like make it close. And the next play, he hits Loveland down the sideline for 32 yards. Luke Gifford is in coverage. I never want to see 57 out there again on anybody down the sideline because he's always getting burnt. A few plays later, he's forced to dump it down to Kyle Monangai, which would have forced 3rd and 10, Mike. However, there's a flag, and the camera pans up the field, and you see Tatum Bethune grabbing someone's face mask after the play. Absolutely idiotic penalty in a game that you're down 3 points, and they get 15 yards.
Emotional. Just too emotional, man.
Too emotional.
What are you doing? You
melting
gotta know
down.
what you're doing. Yeah. Yep.
Melting down. And we already knew this ref crew led all crews in, I think, unnecessary roughness and roughing the passer. The 49ers apparently lead the league in unnecessary roughness penalties going into last night. I didn't know that. They got one more. And yeah, he got mad at Loveland, yanked his face mask by the time. It would have been 3rd and 11. Now, hey, the way they're going, maybe he thinks, let's just fucking speed this up and give it to him anyway, right? But instead, 15 yards and a first down. So it was just insane. You cannot have that type of penalty at all, but especially then. And it's like you're supposed to be the leader when Fred's out there. You're wearing the green dot. We need you to be out there leading this defense, and that was just a boneheaded decision. Kenny says Colson Loveland was roughing him up, so he defended himself in the worst way possible. I agree. I wait till the next play, and how about you just like tackle him extra hard or something? I don't know. Rough him up that way, not a blatant face mask to where there's like absolutely no way that could be excusable. They went to Terry, right. And Terry's like, yeah, that doesn't matter if that's during the play or after the play. Like, that's illegal anytime.
Yeah, you can't do it at all. Yeah, it's
no,
just dumb.
No. So instead of it being, Sean says, man, I miss Moody. Don't you imagine yesterday with him? Absolutely not.
Well, wait. Don't do that. I'm not letting y'all do that. I mean, how many field goals did we actually even attempt in that game? One?
None.
Two?
None.
So Moody makes the extra points. Like, cut it out. But
sure.
Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like it.
Thank you, Sean. So the Niners have to punt. Or excuse me. Sorry, I'm at the wrong place. 15-yard penalty and first down instead of 3rd and 10. They get 1st and goal from the 49ers 10. And 3 plays later, the 49ers are facing 3rd and goal. Williams is forced to attempt a dump off to Monangai in the flat, but it's tipped. It falls incomplete. Chase Lucas almost had a shot at that and would have gone the other way for 6. Boy, I can guarantee you Levi's would have been rocking if Chase Lucas was able to get his hands on that. So they go for the field goal. Now here, I'm thinking the Niners may have just lost this game by punting, Instead, I'm thinking the Bears may have just lost this game by going for a field goal. Mike, I mean, obviously looking back now, we know, but at the moment, were you thinking, damn, they probably should have gone for this? Like the Niners offense is on fire.
Well, so I was very happy that they settled for a field goal. We were looking for which defense was gonna make a play first, and that happened to be the play of the second half. That was it right there. It wasn't so much about an interception or a turnover or sacks or anything like that. It was who can make someone kick a field goal. First team to kick a field goal loses, and that's that's exactly how it played out. So that was the drive that we needed right there to seal the deal.
And it was
We were still trailing, if I'm not mistaken, but that's what
trailing
we
by
needed.
3 now.
Yeah.
So the 49ers got to stop, forced them to 3. Sorry, I'm trying to post a tweet, but don't you hate it when it's like, you've already posted that? Let me laugh at the Rams multiple times. Like, why do I have to?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
You said
post
that already.
Rams LMAO, and it's like, nope, you've said that. I didn't know there was a limit. I pay for this shit. There's a limit on what I can.
Right.
Anyway.
You got to put extra spaces in there. They're
I guess
counting the
so.
characters.
Yeah. So the Niners get the ball back, and with 5:17 left in the fourth quarter, they either had all 3 or 2 timeouts left at this point. I forget how many. Down 3 points. And I'm thinking, the way this offense has been all night, let's go fucking win this thing, right? Like, let's go Brock Purdy. It's like I wanted to have those 2 posts queued up, ready to go, of either Jimmy G running out down in the Super Bowl or Patrick Mahomes running out down in the Super Bowl to win it. Which way, Western man? Like, there's only one way to go here. Brock Purdy gets the ball, starts off with a McCaffrey 4-yard run, incomplete pass, and they're immediately facing a 3rd and 6. And I'm like, shit. But fear not, because George Kittle light, Jake Tonjes is there, who catches the pass, but he's like 1.5 yards to 2 yards shy of the first down marker, fights forward for the first down. Impressive effort from him. He gets the first down. On first down, Purdy finds McCaffrey for 3, and although the second down pass was incomplete, the Bears were flagged again for an illegal use of hands, which gave the 49ers 5 yards and an automatic first down. So it's 1st and 10 from the Niners' 44-yard line. Purdy hits McCaffrey for a screen pass. At this point, I'm screaming because I had been telling the group chat, Kyle needs to call a damn screen pass. Kyle needs to call a damn screen pass. And I think he had called 1 or 2 earlier, but they either got dropped or broken up. He hits McCaffrey for a screen pass for an 18-yard pickup, and I'm hyped because this gets down to the Bears' 38-yard line. 1 play later, Purdy drops back, hits Juwan Jennings across the middle for a catch and run of 38 yards that ends in the touchdown. Only possible thanks to Ricky Pearsall coming in right at the end to get a block, and only possible thanks to Jake motherfucking Tonjes drawing in 3 defenders to open up that window behind Purdy, or behind him, for Juwan Jennings to get into that second window. You know, we talk about those layered throws. That layer was right behind Jake Tonjes and 3 Bears defenders. So that gives the 49ers a 42-38 lead. But there's 2:15 left, and the Bears have all 3 timeouts. Mike, how you feeling?
A little bit too much time on the clock, but I had all the faith in the world that we were going to get a stop. I didn't expect this drive to play out the way that it did, but I was like, it's too much time, but we're going to get a stop here. This is the one time we need it. And at this point, I am doing the, the soccer or it's like a stadium chant, like the I believe that. We're over here in my house doing the chant and everything, man. Like we are going off with that chant right now. So that's where we were at that moment, man. I was like, let's go, man, let's go.
Yeah. Boy, I was nervous. I was high-fiving Ashley, and she's like, your hams are all clammy. I'm like, fuck off. I know, I'm nervous over here, man. Like, Jesus Christ. But I'm like, I wish the Niners, I was thinking like maybe Juwan should have gone down at the 1 and we just kneel this thing, at least till the 2-minute warning. But because they had 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but God got you. When God got you, you just sit back and let the universe do its thing. The Bears get the ball back with 2:15 left. They start with a touchback, so they get it at their own 35. Start off with a 5-yard DeAndre Swift run. a 5-yard penalty on Chase Lucas for holding. Gives them 5 yards on a first down. Incomplete pass on first down, which was Colston Loveland's first drop, by the way, of the season, which is wild. On second down, 6-yard pass to Swift. 3rd and 4, loose contained. Caleb Williams, 4-yard scramble. 2 incompletions later, it's 3rd and 10, and he dumps it off to Luther Burden, who, unfortunately, I hate to say it, put a really nice move on Chase Lucas and picked up 14 yards on 3rd and 10. On 1st and 10, 5-yard pass to Burden. Again, back-to-back incompletions, and it's 4th and 5. They're all the way down to the Niners' 26-yard line at this point. 4th and 5, they have to go for it, and Caleb Williams drops back and hits Colston Loveland, who is wide open for another 13 yards. Now, they're getting down, and they're getting short on time here. I think they had 1 timeout left at this point. Let's see, where was I? First down, incomplete. Oh, wait, no, 9 yards. Oh, sorry. First down, incompletion. And on second down, they do the hook and ladder play. They drop it off to, is it Loveland? And then Loveland pitches to Swift, who, instead of going out of bounds, tries to cut upfield and get either the first down or into the end zone. I just want to say, well, real quick, he gets stopped. And the 49ers defense, smartly, maybe a little bit of gamesmanship, took an extra second or two to get off of Loveland, a la Dak in that wild card game a few years ago. And the Bears, were forced to rush to the line and spike it with 4 seconds left. And I just want to say kudos to the 49ers for not falling for that. Like, I guarantee you when Ben Johnson's sitting there scheming this little fucking thing up, he's got a grin behind his face like the Grinch. And Deommodore Lenoir stayed home. Lenoir stayed home. I think there were even a couple other defenders that kept contained on that play and were not allowing DeAndre Swift to get into the end zone. What were your thoughts on that play? Did you think they were going to score on that when you saw it?
No, I didn't think that they were going to score, but I was damn scared. I was like, oh, the pass is short. Oh, here we go. Get it. Yes. Let's go. Come on. So I was still nervous, though. I was like, they're too close, man. They're too close. They're one big play away now at this point. They're going to get it. So I was a little nervous right here.
It was definitely nerve-wracking.
Yes.
We've seen that play work so many times, right? It always catches the defense off guard. It worked earlier that day for Buffalo, I want to say, on a third down.
Buffalo did it, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we've seen Kansas City do it. I think we've even seen Detroit do it when Ben Johnson was their coach. But the 49ers stayed home, and they get down. They force Chicago to spike the ball. 1 play left, 4 seconds left, and boy, was it a doozy. Caleb Williams drops back. He tries to hit DeAndre Swift to the left in the flat, but Bryce Huff, they brought 2 in coverage, and we'll get into this later, whether or not that was the design or not. They bring 2 in coverage, Bryce Huff and I think Gross Matos, and Bryce Huff gets untouched off the line, just an absolute, talk about a fuck up by your offensive line. 5 versus 2, inexcusable to let Bryce Huff off the line untouched.
When you say they dropped 2 they had 2 in coverage, you meant only 2 people rushed the passer.
They brought 2 in, pass rush, sorry. Not dropped. Yeah. They only rushed 2, and they dropped 9 into coverage. Bryce Huff somehow got off the edge untouched, got in the passing lane to DeAndre Swift, got an arm up, immediately forced Caleb to move off of that, and then Bryce Huff, Bugatti Bryce, he gets into Caleb Huff's pocket, forced him to roll out to his left. He jumps for his feet. Caleb's able to break the tackle. And he's running to the left. Then all of a sudden, Yetur Gross-Matos comes out of left field like a fucking, cheetah. And he's driving Caleb Williams back. And he's trying to hold the ball long enough for somebody to get open. And at the very last second, off his back foot, throws the ball. And boy, it's like those, like Fresh Prince when Carlton shoots a shot and it's fucking slow-mo. That's what it was like for me, man. It's like, dun, yeah. And then it falls on the ground. Short. And 49ers win, baby. Just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was
4-point win.
Whew, man, oh man. I mean, it literally came down to the last play of the game there, and it was do or die for both teams in that moment, you know. The one thing they sent the crosser, they sent the receiver from one side of the field all the way to the other, and he was open for more than half of that play. Two Niners defenders ended up running into each other. One of them actually fell. He was wide open, but Caleb was flushed so far to the other sideline, it was like there's no way he can set his feet and turn and make that throw all the way across the because of, like you said, Matos ended up coming in there after Huff pressured him out to the left. Then Matos goes over there, so he couldn't even set his feet. So there was like almost impossible for them to go out there and make that play, man. And Caleb's got a strong arm. He could have zipped it if he could have set his feet to the, I believe it was the running back he attempted to throw it to, right? Was that Swift he tried to throw it to?
The first pass? Yeah.
That.
Oh,
yeah,
at the when he actually
at
did
the very
throw it?
end.
I think it was to Jade Walker. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. But I mean, he has a strong enough arm where if he could have set his feet, he could have zipped that in there, but he couldn't. He was off his back foot and, kind of backpedaling or whatever, and it just worked out in our favor, man. And I was like, oh my God, man, like, let's go, man. An excellent performance from Brock Purdy is not going to go wasted here. But at that point, I'm sitting here like, Robert Saleh, man, we got to tear you up, bro. We have to tear you up because it's the only way we're going to get better, right? The Niner fans, we celebrate the win, yes, but we need to be making a lot of noise about that defensive performance in that game. And I get it. Ben Johnson is the brains of that operation, and we saw what he did in in Detroit. We know what their offenses can do when they're inspired and when they got time. And so kudos to him, Ben Johnson, for calling a hell of a game. But Robert Saleh's got to be better, man. We shouldn't have to put up 42 points and it be decided in the last 4 seconds who's going to win that game. That's absolutely unacceptable.
I mean, I agree. If you put up 6 touchdowns, that should be enough to win the game. Also, you were talking about DJ Moore wide open. Let me share this just so you guys could see what we're talking about, because I saw this being shared. I think Collinsworth even said it afterwards, and that may be where this clip is from. You see DJ
Look
Moore
at the two
here.
guys run into each. Oh wait, they run into each other already? Yeah, they already did it. You have to go back a little bit more. He's coming across the right. Oh, right there. Boom.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they run
So
into each other, and that
frees
slowed
up
him down. Yeah, now
DJ
he's wide
Moore.
open.
And he's waving
He's doing
his
jumping
hands.
jacks.
But all I'm going to say to this is Caleb is way over here on the other
Right.
side of the field. He's got Bryce Huff closing in. Gross Matos closes this gap in about 2 seconds. If Caleb is able to flip his hips and throw the ball, this is probably 40 yards maybe across diagonally here.
But he's got the arm strength.
He
for
has
that
the
throw.
arm, but if he turns around and gets that pass done, you just tip your hat and go home. Honestly,
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody is attempting.
No one's
this
turning
throw.
around and getting there.
No.
No one's turning. No, but no defender's getting there for sure.
No. So the 49ers either called the right play or ad-libbed the right play, depending on what you believe. Final stats.
All right, let's just wait. No. Okay, fine. Go ahead and give the final stats. But I want to go back to that. They called the right play there. Go ahead.
Brock Purdy, 24 for 33, 303 yards, 9.2 average, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack, 85.4 QBR with 118.6 passer rating. He also had 6 carries for 28 yards, averaged 4.7 yards per carry, two rushing touchdowns. McCaffrey had 23 carries for 140 yards, averaged 6.1 yards per carry. He had 1 touchdown, rushing touchdown, and a long of 41, season long, by the way. Brian Robinson, 4 carries for 22 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. Sky Moore also had the 1 carry for 10 yards. And receiving, Ricky Pearsall, 5 receptions for 85 yards, averaged 17 yards per catch, long of 30 on 8 targets. Jake Tonjes, 7 receptions on 9 targets for 60 yards, average 8.6 yards per catch, and 1 touchdown with a long of 18 yards. Jawan Jennings, 2 for 42, 21 yards per catch with the long of 38 and 1 touchdown. McCaffrey, 4 receptions for 41 yards, Averaged 10.3 yards per catch with a long of 18 on 6 targets. Demarcus Robinson, 2 for 30, 15 yards per catch with a long of 25 on 2 targets. Kendrick Bourne, 1 for 25 on 1 target. Juszczyk, 2 for 14 for 1 touchdown on 2 targets. And Brian Robinson had 1 reception for 6 yards on 1 target. Real quick, Bears stats. Caleb Williams, 25 for 42, 330 yards, 7.9 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 71.2 QBR, 100.3 passer rating. He also had 5 carries for 18 yards, which averaged just about 3.6 yards per carry. DeAndre Swift, 9 carries for 54 yards, averaged 6 yards pop, 2 touchdowns with a long of 22. Manungai, 8 carries for 38 yards, 4.8 yards per carry with a long of 18. Receiving, Luther Burden cooked the Niners, 8 receptions for 130. Get this, 8 receptions on 9 targets. He didn't drop a pass until that last drive. 8 receptions on 9 targets for 138 yards, 17.3 yards per catch, 1 touchdown, and a long of 35. Colston Loveland, 6 receptions for 94 yards, average 5.7 yards per catch, 1 touchdown, and a long of 36 on 10 targets. Walker had 2 for 30 on 4 targets. DeAndre Swift, 2 for 25. Komet, 2 for 16. Smythe, 1 for 11. Manungai, 3 for 9. And Moore, 1 for 7 on 4 targets. Mike, what are your overall thoughts here? I also have the team stats we can get into.
It's a good day when the longest play from scrimmage for the 49ers was a run. So, I think our longest completed pass was 36 yards to Juwan Jennings, right? That was a long, as far as receptions goes, but Christian McCaffrey in that 41-yard run, man, that was absolutely incredible, man. And everyone's saying that the Niners can't run, we can't run, and boy, did we go out there and run. And that's how you end up with a guy who had no targets all game being the highest-rated player for the Niners on the offense, per PFF anyway. Luke Farrell, out there blocking his ass off for that run game. So that's how you end up with things like that happening. Also, I do want to say this.
91.8, by the way. That was his grade, 91.8.
And there were a ton of players for the Niners in the 80s. So that just tells you just how good of a game he had blocking. I saw a lot of people asking while we were doing the breakdown. I didn't want to interrupt. People are saying, how is it that the Rams can still get the number 5 overall seed, right? So here's what they need to happen. They need to win against the Cardinals, and they need the Niners to beat Seattle. And what that'll do is give them the advantage. Seattle will fall to 3-3 in the division, and the Rams will be 4-2 in the division. And so that division tiebreaker there will give them the higher seed. It'll bump them to 5, and the Seahawks will fall to 6. So they need the Niners to win, and they need to win their last game against the Cardinals.
Really impressive stuff. Do you want to get into that last play controversy?
Oh, here we go, baby. Here we go. So Tatum Bethune goes on KNBR after the game, and he says that they were told, him and Winters were told to blitz on that play, and they decided not to. They decided to drop back and just try to confuse Caleb Williams and put more bodies in the passing lanes. Which, if you believe that's true, tells me that Kyle Shanahan Robert Saleh did not make the right play call. Now, there's some people out there that are saying, well, had they done it, we probably would have got the sack. And this is why I disagree. There were 3 offensive linemen with no one to block. They would have ate those guys up. They had no one else to block, and they're not, it's not like they're coming around the edge. It's not like they're getting outside the tackles to blitz. They're going to be coming up in the middle, right? A, B, and C gap. So they were going to be useless out there. You got the quote there. There you go. I see. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they spoke to KNBR. Let's see. Me and D, this is Tatum Bethune. Me and D were supposed to be on a blitz, Bethune said, and we dropped out because we knew what they were capable of, and we just wanted to put some extra heads in the throwing lane and make Caleb run around the field and waste time and waste the timeout, and that's what he did. I don't know. I would need to hear it from Saleh, to be honest.
When the
okay, hold on. Let me ask you
49ers
this. Let's assume this is correct, Mike. Do you like that? Like, is that a good thing that the Niners players are just kind of going rogue and doing what they think is best,
Yes.
not the play that's called?
Yes. Yes. Robert Saleh has actually applauded things like that earlier in the season where thank God this guy didn't follow the sign. It was a pick by, it might have been one of the Jair Brown interceptions where he said he didn't drop in covers like he was supposed to. No, it was a linebacker interception we had. And he was supposed to do something, but he recognized the play. And,
Maybe
and
D Winters from last week.
maybe that's what it was. But Robert Saleh has come out and applauded, like, if you play ball, right, we're going to call the plays, but you guys are out there playing, and if you see something or you feel it, like those guys are the ones out there in the huddles, in and out. You know what I mean? You can call the play, but I do like it. And it's also happened on the offensive side of the ball, right? That's one thing that we're seeing right now is that the Niners are changing a little bit of how this is what we're doing, and you do it no matter what, right? Kyle even said that there was a play that he called, and he didn't even know that we had snapped the ball because they were supposed to wait, and Purdy went hurry up. This was either I think this was 2 games ago, where Purdy went hurry up and ended up getting a touchdown as opposed to like taking his time and all that stuff. He said that Purdy rushed it, went quick snap, and did his thing. So the coaches are letting the players get comfortable. We're going to call the play, but how you guys execute that play is on you guys, and they're not scolding these guys for those plays. Now, I'm sure that when they do that kind of thing and it doesn't work out, the coaches get them to the sideline, they chew them out. You know what I'm saying? But they're out there feeling it. So go ahead. I see you got another one right there. I tell our players.
Yeah, this is from Saleh, and it was about the D Winters pick six. I tell our players there's 3 occasions in a game where you're just going to know, Saleh said, you're just going to know exactly what the play is. You just have to have the confidence in yourself to go jump it and abort your job and go do it. And that's exactly what Bethune and Winters did to preserve the victory against the Bears, set up a Saturday night showdown against Seattle Seahawks for home field advantage. I might be changing my mind on this, Mike.
I didn't read this article, and I'm so glad that that quote was in there because I remember him going to the podium and saying that. So
I called BS, honestly. I called BS when I first heard that because I'm like, wow, what are the chances that they're going to spy and drop right into coverage the open window where they needed to be just on a whim? But it seems like that's encouraged, and it seems like Bethune and Winters made the right choice here, and I got to tip my cap because if that's true, that's awesome because that really shows growth, and that's been something that we've been pissed off about this defense all year is that they don't learn from any of their fucking mistakes.
Right.
They get bit over and over. How many times the play that Cleveland scored on is the same play that Tennessee scored on? It's the same play that Indianapolis scored on. But it seems like they are thankfully learning from their mistakes, and Bethune and Winters called an audible, and what do you know it? 2 rushers were enough to get pressure on Williams. And while we're on that, Go ahead. Was there something I'd add?
No. Go ahead. No. I'm with you.
I thought Caleb played phenomenally, right? I thought Caleb Williams played. That may be as good of a game as I've seen. I don't watch Bears game unless they're on like national television, but I was wholly surprised with how wildly inaccurate he was on the move. That really took me by surprise. And I saw the stats, but I guess it's something else seeing it in person, right? Like seeing it for your own eyes. And if you just flush him out of that pocket, he missed probably 4 to 5 wide open receivers. This game maybe goes differently. Maybe goes differently if Caleb Williams hits those guys and they get first downs or they get touchdowns or they get the 2-point conversion. I don't know if you caught that, Mike, but that was really surprising to me how inaccurate he was when he was pressured out of the pocket.
Yeah, and like I said, he's a very fast, physical quarterback. And so I did not think we were going to go out there and get a ton of sacks. I didn't think we were going to get a sack at all. I legitimately predicted no sacks in the show we did with Matt. But it was really good to this is why pressures matter. There was a time where the Niners with Robert Saleh, believe it or not, were struggling to get sacks, and they were like, "Yeah, but we get pressures. And I'm like, "Man, fuck that! Like, we got to bring these quarterbacks down because, yeah, we're getting pressures, but I also know that pressure is a very like skewed stat, right? Like if the quarterback drops back and you get him to step left instead of just staying in the pocket a little bit, or if you know what I'm saying, like then that counts as a pressure. I don't like those kind of pressures. You got to get these guys on the move, get them rolling. That's a real pressure to me, and that's what we saw in that very last play. That pocket, he had to completely abort it. You know what I'm saying? And again, imagine that you have to abort the pocket, and it's 5-on-2.
Yeah,
It's 5-on-2.
Yep.
And you have to let that pocket go, bro. Like that is insane, man. So those are the pressures that count. Those are the ones that really matter when you get the guy off his mark by a lot like that.
That's what was wild to me is that the offensive line had been pretty great all night for the Bears, and the one play you needed it to hold up, you only rush two, and Bryce Huff is immediately in Caleb Williams' face, immediately in his throwing lane. And by the way, that fourth down play, or not fourth down, that last play was about as hectic as possible. The 49ers still had a timeout, and you hear Chris and Mike saying, are they going to call the timeout? Are they going to get a picture, a screenshot of what the offense is trying to do, call a timeout? But it was hectic, and the Bears were kind of rushing, and they looked a little discombobulated. I thought it was genius of Kyle Shanahan to let it play out. And he said, nope. They are rushing down. The play clock's rolling down. It's trickling down from 3, 2. They're rushing to the line, and they snap the ball kind of all out of sync. And you saw what happened. Maybe if they had a timeout and they go back and they reset, the offensive line doesn't let Bryce Huff immediately win his rep and get in untouched. But that's not what happened. So I just wanted to give my kudos to Kyle Shanahan for not calling a timeout and having the confidence in your defense and defense coordinator to make the play.
I thought you were gonna bring some heat, man. Like when we were in the group chat a little earlier, and you were like, "Nah, I don't think so."
I didn't buy it.
I thought you were gonna bring some heat.
I honestly didn't buy it, but
let me ask you though, why?
I hadn't seen that earlier quote.
But forget the quote for a second, right? And what we did have was the Bethune said blah 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 blah, and you were like, I'm not buying. Just what about it made you doubt that was happening? Because that's a bold thing for any defensive player to say. Yeah, we heard what the defensive coordinator said, but no, we didn't do it. And to say it publicly is even more bold, right? So the fact that he said it, I was like, I buy it right away. And just in this conversation that we were having is when I thought of the Salah thing. I never even mentioned that earlier.
When I first heard the quote, when I first heard that they audibled, I didn't hear that it was a quote from KNBR, right? Like, I thought it was just like, oh, I heard through the grapevine that Tatum Bethune just kind of ad-libbed. Okay. And so that was my first instinct, was like, okay, sure, whatever. But no disrespect to Tatum Bethune and D. Winters, but we're not necessarily talking about Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman here. It's like, you've been getting cooked all night, and you're supposed to tell me that this play, suddenly you turned into, fucking Vic Fangio, and you're able to cook up the perfect scheme and be exactly where you needed to be. Like, that's why I was a little skeptical in what happened. Then it's like, oh no, he literally said it on KNBR. Like, he literally, what are you pointing at?
They channel their inner Fred Warner right there, man. Fred Warner goes out there and he puts people in position, man. That's what he's doing, yeah. So they went out there and channeled that inner Fred Warner, bro. Like, they gotta listen, man. Fred was on the sidelines. He's out there jumping and celebrating and everything. Did you see that video going around with Fred?
Yep.
Like he's out there.
Skipping,
I shouldn't
jumping.
I was jumping. I'm using that term very loosely, but he was definitely fired up and everything. You could see it. Like, Fred wants to be back. You could see like that energy is still inside of him, man. That passion is still there. And I really, really just love how this team played and endured. In that, it was just rough watching the defense just get picked apart like that, man. Time and time again, it was driving me absolutely crazy. So, but all things happen for a reason, and the game was over. We celebrated. We started the victory shot show with my daughters behind me, and guess what we did? Because it was on Patreon behind a paywall and most people didn't see it, we waited until there were hundreds of people watching live to do our I Believe chant again. Now, next time I do it, I'm going to have to push the microphone away from me because I was definitely overpowering everything that they were saying. So I got to stop. I got a little bit of that Will Smith. You ever see the scene? You mentioned Fresh Prince of Bel-Air earlier. It's the only reason I'm doing this. You ever see the behind the scenes where they're talking about like Will was such a new actor, but they were impressed that he memorizes everybody's lines. And so if you watch some of the early episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that first season, you'll see Will say his line, and then as someone else is saying theirs, he's saying it with them. Like he's like moving his lips. So I noticed that I was doing that with my daughters for the I believe chant. Like I'm saying it with them, but I wasn't verbally saying it.
That's
but
funny.
This microphone being here and them being back there, it wasn't really picking them up. So I owe the faithful a better chant next time. We'll get it worked out.
There you go. Yeah, man, that was. Yeah, I'll eat crow on this one. I didn't buy it at first, but it seems like, and again, it would be kind of wild now that I think about it for Tatum Bethune to just come out here and lie like that when clearly Saul is going to be asked about it at the next press conference and he can very easily say no. So kudos to them. They made the right choice. They dropped 9 into coverage. 9 just insane decision, but it worked out because where are you going?
And there was
the
still somebody wide open though. No, like, and this is what drives me crazy about this defense. They still make boneheaded mistakes. Whose man was that, and why? So I get it. You guys ran into each other. That doesn't change your assignment. It doesn't change your. Now, yeah, it happened to work out for us.
Yeah.
But you just let them go after you ran into the linebacker. Now, again, those linebackers weren't supposed to be there. They weren't by design. Those linebackers weren't supposed to be there. So when you run into them, it's like, all right, maybe someone else is going to pick them up. But you got to stick with. You weren't the change in that scenario. You got to stick with your guy. You know, they said we're going to man up on this last play and we're going to make them earn it. And I like that. I like that it worked out for us. But you got to stick with your guy, man, because that was a busted coverage. Who was that on the left side? Who was the left corner? Do you still have that play pulled up? Can we see who it was that was supposed to be covering more on that play? Because I mean, I get it when you run into somebody, it kind of throws you off a little bit. But get your ass back over there, dude. Like you can't.
Might be hard to see, but we can try.
Let's see. I don't know if it was Chase Lucas because that he ran to Diamador.
Lucas said afterwards that he lost his man and that he was happy that he didn't get caught.
See, and it looks like zone almost because who's supposed to be run that back? They said that we were going to man up. Nobody went with him when he cut across the field. Look at this. Look, no one's going with him.
No. There.
So then, boom, right there. But was that his guy all along? Because what if he ran a corner out to the opposite side?
That kind of looks like Bethune to me. That looks like 48.
Is that a 2-6? Oh, Bethune. Yeah. Well, that's the linebacker that got in the way for sure.
No, he's the one that was following him, I thought. Oh, I'm way too far. So let's see.
It looks like he picked him up after he came across. Someone made a mistake. Yeah, so, okay, rewind it. I see the mistake there. I see it now. 2 Niners take the outside guy right there at the top of the screen. Yep. 2 Niners take the outside guy. You see the safety rolling around to get, yep. No one went with Moore from the very beginning. So Bethune runs into maybe Winters there. No one went with him that whole play. That's insane. That can't happen with the game on the line. That can't happen. So Robert Saleh was bailed out by the linebackers dropping back and muddying it up a little bit. But no one went with him. I don't get it. I don't understand how something like that can happen on a play that you say we're going to man up and just make them beat us. Like, what? I think
it's clearly a bust, right? But I also don't think, is he capable of making that throw physically? Like, is it possible? Yes. But we were just talking about how wildly inaccurate he was off of his spot.
Right.
He's rushed to his left, already basically off his back foot. I can't imagine him flipping his hips, setting his base, turning and throwing it roughly 40 yards across the field diagonally to a DJ Moore. Does that get there with enough time for where a defender doesn't run back and jump under it? Maybe.
Oh, yeah. No defender was getting there. No defender was getting there, I promise you.
I think the 49ers, if it probably was a mistake, but also at the same time, I think if you showed them this, they'd say, yeah, we'd live with Caleb making that throw. Like, it's like when you fucking triple team Steph when you're down or when, you're up 2 and you triple team him and he shoots a 50-foot 3-pointer and he makes it. You're just like, well, fuck, you just got to live with that. If Caleb Williams were to make that throw, you just say, wow, good throw, man. I
Right.
did not think you could do it. Good throw. Was it a fuck up? Probably. It looks like you showed two players running into each other. I hadn't seen that till now. Somebody completely missed him. But I think they were more focused on the guys that were right in front of him, like the five receivers that were right there that were possible targets. That's
once
my
the
take
scramble
on it.
drill like that starts and he's that close
You're
to the
muted.
sideline. No, I'm not.
Oh, goddamn. I don't know what it is.
It's all good. I'll keep going though.
You're good.
I'll
You're
keep
good.
going. Yeah. So what it is that once you get flushed that far to the left sideline, the field is literally cut in half. And so that's what it became there. That with the scramble drills like that happen, you have to get in front of your quarterback. So he was out of sight, out of mind. And what's weird is if you watch that play again, Caleb looks that way, but he knows I don't have time to set and make it. Like he saw him streaking across there, but there was no time for him to make that adjustment to get there. He did see him for a half a second. So, yeah, it's all good. Let me know what you need me to do, but I don't know. Is Matt going to be joining us soon, or
I'm not sure.
Are we going to take this into overtime?
We probably will just wrap up here soon if I don't hear from him. I do have some team stats we can get into.
Yeah. No, there's still a lot more to talk about. I just want to make this clear, though. Robert Saleh, you were not off the hook. This was not an acceptable. This is a team that is playing for the number 1 seed. At worst, we go to 5. Even if we lose, we have the 5th seed in the NFC. Because the Niners already have more division wins than anybody else in the NFC West. So let's say Seattle wins. Well, all right, they got the number 1 seed. And let's say the Rams win, they go to 4-2 also. So I'm not quite sure what the other tiebreakers are outside of regular record. If the Rams win and the Niners lose, then it goes to conference, and the Niners are 9-2.
Or
so at
division,
worst,
then conference.
right. So it will be tied record, tied division, but in the conference, the Niners are 9-2, and right now in the conference, the Rams are 6-4. So at worst, we are the 5th seed.
Yeah.
So I mean, and 5 plays 4, if I'm not mistaken. 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 5 plays 4. So right now we will be
NFC
playing the
South.
Eagles. Oh.
No. Winner of NFC South. Eagles are going to be the third.
Yeah. That's right.
Which is a very favorable matchup.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Either
and
Tampa,
they don't or Panthers, yeah.
Yep.
And the Falcons winning, which is weird. All 3 of them could finish, have the potential to finish with
9 and
8 wins.
Or 8-9. Yeah, you're right.
Right. They all 3 of them have the potential to finish 8-9. Wow, what a trash ass division.
Yeah. Yep. So
All right, team stats though. Let's go. Let's break it down. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We'll wrap up here soon. I know I got to get to work early tomorrow, so if Matt can't make it, we'll catch him on the next one. First downs, the Bears had 26, the 49ers had 32. Passing first downs, the Bears had 16, the Niners had 17. Rushing first downs, the Bears had 7, the Niners had 13. First downs from penalties, the Bears had 3, the Niners had 2. Third down efficiency, Bears 6 for 12, 49ers 7 for 10. Fourth down efficiency, the Bears 2 for 2, the Niners 1 for 1. Total plays, Bears 64, 49ers 68. Total yards, Bears 440, 49ers 496. Total drives, Bears had 9, 49ers had 10. Yards per play, the Bears had 6.9, the 49ers had 7.3. Passing yards, the Bears had 330, 49ers had 296. Rushing yards, Bears had 110, the 49ers had 200. Attempts, Bears had 22, 49ers had 34. Yards per rush, the Bears had 5 yards per rush, Niners had 5.9 yards per rush. Red zone attempts / success, Bears were 1 for 3 in the red zone, which I thought was interesting, whereas the 49ers were 5 for 5 in the red zone. So you want to talk about where the difference was. Red zone right there, 1 for 3. One, they got a touch on DeAndre Swift run, kicked a field goal, and then got stopped on the last play of the game. 1 for 3. Penalties, the Bears had 7 for 39 yards, whereas the 49ers had 5 for 55 yards. Turnovers, none for the Bears, 1 for the 49ers. Time of possession, the Bears had the ball for 26 minutes and 27 seconds, whereas the 49ers had the ball for 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Anything of that stand out to you? I also have the PFF grades.
Yeah, I had no idea that the Niners had almost 500 yards of total offense. That is insane. Listen, when I tell you guys that this 49ers team is humming right now, they really are. Wait, what is this coming? Negative, Mike. Wait, go. What does that say?
He says Rams get the 5th seed with the win and a Niners loss. I don't understand it, but that's what the ESPN scenario is saying after a Monday Night Football result.
It doesn't make any. We'll have the same division record. We'll have the better conference record. How is it? Does it go conference and division? Because head to head we split. We won one, they won one. I don't understand. That's really strange. I don't get it.
Division, common games, then conference. So,
and they beat those AFC people that we probably lost to. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Because the Rams have a better. The Rams have a really bad conference record. So the AFC teams that we lost to.
Yeah.
That's probably weird. Okay.
If the Rams lose and win next week and the 49ers lose versus Seattle, we'd both be 12-5, 4-2 in the division, but the Rams would have the tiebreaker. So it's you know what? Hey, take care of business on Saturday and you don't even have to worry about any of those fucking scenarios.
So the Niners have 2 short weeks back to back, man. I don't know how I'm feeling about this, man. I know this is not the preview game or anything like that. I don't know why the NFL decided to put 2 really important games on a Saturday. 2 games to decide which teams are going to go to the playoffs from their respective both of our teams, the Seahawks and Niners, are going to the playoffs, but it's for the number 1 seed in the NFC, right? Why don't you want to put one of those in prime time on Sunday?
Well, so I found out, and I could be wrong, but I heard this on another show, that there are league broadcasting rules where a team cannot host back-to-back regular season games on Sunday Night Football. So that's why the 49ers couldn't be on Sunday Night Football, because they just hosted Sunday Night Football. So and there's no Monday Night Football next week, so the only option for them to be a standalone primetime game is Saturday night. That's what I heard.
Wow, that's interesting. And now that you're saying that, there has been a stretch where I'm like, these guys got 3 primetime games in a row. How is that possible? And you're right. I don't think I've ever seen back-to-back Sunday Night Football games. Now that you say that, that's wild to me. I just thought it was a little bit odd. 2 very important games. So if you're trying to lure people in for Saturday, it's cool. But you got 4 teams all in the NFC. I mean, everyone's playing their own division, right? So,
right.
Normally in those scenarios, you want to split it up between AFC and NFC. Like, does the AFC not have anybody that's worth swapping the Panthers and Bucks game out with?
That one, I think they wanted standalone because it's win or go home. Like, whoever wins that game wins the NFC South and gets in. So I think
get that.
That had a little more of stakes.
But they had the same situation in the AFC East. The Steelers and Ravens game is the same scenario.
And that's why that's Sunday night.
Oh.
And it could be Aaron Rodgers' last game.
And you don't want to put the Panthers on Sunday night. You don't want to put the Bucks on Sunday night. So okay. All right. I guess yeah, I see it. Okay.
I think it's BS, but oh well.
I tell you what, it'll be worth it if we go out there and handle business, because then we get that bye week. So who cares about the short week at that point in time?
That's also something that I saw other people bring up on X, is that the loser of the Niners-Seahawks game gets an extra day to rest for the wild card game. So they play Saturday. So then if they play Sunday, they get to have an extra day going into that game on the road. So the Niners have a short week because they played Sunday night, but the Seahawks also went to Carolina and had to travel back, and now they'll have to travel again to Santa Clara. So they're both kind of on a short week here.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay, I see it. All right.
Final notes that I have here. Trent Williams went out after the first play with that hamstring injury. Austin Pleasance played the entirety of the game after that at left tackle. I thought
Can
he
we
did
give
fine.
him a round of applause, bro? I mean,
he
he did
really
have
well.
one bad play, but for a guy who has been a NFL journeyman, practice squad after practice squad, 0 starts in his career. I thought Austin Pleasance filled in admirably. I did not once sit there and say, oh, my God, we suck. In fact, the first time he ran to the left, I believe that was Christian McCaffrey's big run. I think that was to the left, wasn't it? Wasn't that the 40-plus yarder?
Yep.
And so it's like, you know, I mean, where you sit there and say, damn, we're in trouble. I like it, man. I like it. You got a tight hammy. We're not going to chance a big fella. You go sit down. Let's see how things play out. Kudos to the Niners for finding him. And this is why I say over and over again, guys, and you guys think I'm crazy, when it's which Chris do you prefer? You got to give me Chris Forrester 10 out of 10 times over Chris Kocurek. I don't care. There is nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. Just Forrester does it with whoever the Niners throw in his lap, and they do it well. So I don't care what anybody says, man. And the Niners have invested so many big names, high draft picks for Chris Kocurek. He just doesn't get it done. He doesn't get it done. The fact that I'm sitting around looking at the free agent list and saying, man, the Niners should go sign Shaq Barrett or bring back Alex Barrett. One of those Barrett brothers need to come back to the Niners. And the only reason I'm saying Alex Barrett is because he knows this defense, right? He's been here for a couple of seasons. It's like, dude, it's not even about finding gyms. I saw that last comment you popped up there. It's not about finding gyms. It's coaching. It's coaching players to be ready for the moment. Chris Forrester does that. I think Chris Kocurek just has to inherit good talent. He doesn't develop it. I haven't seen him develop good talent. I'm sorry, I haven't. And he gets so many passes, it's not even funny. I really can't wait for the Niners to replace him.
Mark Cisneros says, were you surprised they went with Pleasance at left tackle instead of moving Burford and bringing in Colby at left guard? Yes, and I want to remind everybody, Trent Williams takes 2 days off a week for vet days. Who has been stepping in those practices for first-team reps? None other than Austin Pleasance.
Austin Pleasance, yeah.
So he credited those practice snaps into being so in tune with the starting offense because he's been taking first-team reps all year.
Yeah, all year
vet
long.
Days.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would have moved Burford. I think you would have played Burford out of position. Well, I think he initially was the left tackle, but he hasn't played left tackle since he's been here. And then Colby, boy, I think that's a bigger jump than asking Austin Pleasance to go in. So maybe that was an option if Pleasance came in and absolutely sucked, but
no. So Zach's answer is no. It's not yes. His answer is no. He's not surprised. No. Yeah, and that's a very, very good point. I didn't even stop to think about that with the rest days and all that stuff and who gets the first team reps and all that. That's a very, very good point there. And also, aside from that, I'm not surprised because now you're creating 2 holes. Now you're replacing 2 guys in different locations as opposed to just replacing 1. Let the other 4 stay in their natural spots and not natural, but in their playing spots, and you go out there and handle business. So I like it, bro. Yeah, I like it.
Next note I have, Purdy held the ball for 8.5 seconds on his scramble touchdown pass to Kyle Juszczyk. Insane. You know that pissed some Bears fans off, man. You know that, because if that was against us, that's some Mahomes shit, then I'd be throwing my drink against the wall.
The only thing that would have made that play better, so when he stepped up between the 2 defenders, if they had just ran into each other and fell, like on some Three Stooges shit, like that's the only thing that would have made that play better.
When you said that, my mind went to, now Kith. Fucking Mike Tyson.
Mike and the Pigeons.
Yeah. Now
and the
Kith.
Pigeons.
Now Kith.
They did run into each other almost, or they were right there in front of each other. But man, Purdy, he was just toying with them, bro. I've never been so proud of Brock Purdy in my entire life. What I'm seeing these last couple of weeks, man. I mean, when he threw that touchdown to him, when he threw that touchdown to Juice, he just ran off the field. Like, he didn't look back. He didn't go to celebrate. He's like, oh, you know what that reminded me of? This is going to sound crazy, but it's a flashback to the 49ers, guys. Remember when Alden Smith got that sack against, I want to say the Steelers? I think it was the Steelers. It might have been the Bears.
The Monday night game?
Yeah. Oh, it was the Bears. It was the Bears because it was backup quarterback. It was Colin Kaepernick versus Jason Campbell. He got that sack and he does this like, he's running to the sidelines like this, right? He's like, oh, that's what that reminded me of. It's like, oh, I'm too nice. They can't fuck with me. I'm too nice. Yeah. That's what that reminded me of. And I'm like, let's go, Brock, man. Every celebration Brock was doing, I need that energy to not stop, man. Like, I don't care if we end up losing the game afterwards. Keep that confidence, Brock, and that's going to show people why the Niners decided to pay you, bro. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Next note, Tonjes, I said this earlier, drew three Bears defenders to open up Juwan Jennings on the game-winning touchdown. Shout out to Juwan Jennings. 49ers moved to 5-0 on primetime games this season, their best record since 2019. Robbie Gould. Oh, go ahead.
Nope, sorry. Let me just go ahead and get this Tonjes love out the way, right? When George Kittle went down and they determined that he was out, I don't think that the Bears defensive coordinator thought Tonjes was going to go out there and do what he did, right? And so that was a second half adjustment. Hey, we're not going to let this replacement tight end beat us. We're going to get him. And so the success that he had leading up to that drive was like, hey, he's going to be the guy. We're going to take him away. He had on that same drive, he had converted a third down already. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, we're not going to let this guy beat us. Stop him. And then behind him goes Juwan Jennings. So Jake Tonjes, man, listen, Niners.
Los Gatos product.
I'm talking to Robert Saleh. I'm talking to Kyle Shanahan now, right? Just because George Kittle comes back does not mean you don't have a tight end too, a legitimate tight end too.
They forget about him when he's back for whatever reason. It's just toss him to the side.
Just stop it, bro. Just now you can use one guy to block and the other guy to run routes. You can use both of them to run routes. You can mix it up a little bit here. This offensive line has been playing out of their minds. One sack all game.
And that one sack, by the way, Purdy held the ball for about 5 seconds on a rollout. He could have thrown it away. He could have stepped up. So it's a sack, yes, but I think there's an asterisk there. Yeah.
So give Tonjes his flowers, man. This guy filled in admirably. This was the game of fill-ins. I mean, the Niners roster is the team of fill-ins, right? But you find those are two game time decisions or less, right? Yeah. One was a game time decision. The other was a in-game first play decision, right? And both of those guys filled in admirably, man. You got to give those guys my dog of the day, man. Those, you know what? I'm going to play it here. I don't do it on this channel, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, baby. Those are my dogs of the day right there, man. Jake Tonjes and Austin Pleasance. And you know what's weird? And Matt, oh, God, I wish Matt was here. He asked me who my player of the game was going to be, and I said I think it's going to be Trent Williams. I said I'm going to go away from the normal skill positions, and I went Trent Williams. I thought that he was going to have a really good game, and it was still the left tackle, my player of the game right there. So I like it. Guys out there, if I'm messing up a little bit, if I'm getting glitchy, please let me know in the chat. It looks all clear on my side, but I can see the little Wi-Fi symbol popping up. So if I'm glitchy, please let me know.
Okay, it might be me. You're breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me correctly? Can you hear me fine?
I hear you loud and clear. It's crystal clear on my end.
Let me wrap up here. Couple notes. Niners moved to 5-0 on primetime games, like I said. Robbie Gould was an honorary captain for the 49ers, which had to sting since he played in Chicago for so long, retired with the 49ers.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see him? He was there pregame. He had the
I didn't see it. He with the Niners, not with the Bears?
Yeah, no, he was a Niners honorary captain.
The disrespect started before the fucking coin toss? Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. Why would he agree to do that?
And he even tweeted about it. He said, "I was honored to be an honorary captain tonight for."
No.
Yeah, I'll find the post after and I'll send it to you.
Okay, that's insane to me because he played way longer in Chicago. But you know what? Never mind. It's cool. It is what it is. Wow. Talk about head games, bro. That is absolutely crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't see the pregame stuff. I'm over getting ready on the Patreon. I'm doing the pregame show and all that. So I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff, man. That is absolutely insane. I did not know that until right now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Thank you, 49ers, the York family and 49ers organization, for inviting me back to be an honorary captain. It was great to see old friends and teammates. Yeah, Andrew Garfield was there, the Amazing Spider-Man. Jeremy Piven was there. But Robbie Gould's the most important name out of all of them. Okay, last couple notes here. We'll wrap up. Colton McKivitz did not allow a single pressure and pass protection. His 83.9 overall PFF grade on the season ranks second amongst right tackles, only behind Penei Sewell. only behind Penei Sewell. Insane.
Colton McKivitz came out at the beginning of the season and said, I'm going to have a Pro Bowl year. Now, he didn't get the votes.
He probably should have.
He didn't get the votes, but damn it, he might be one of the all-pro alternatives or something like that. So shout out to Colton McKivitz for putting his money where his mouth is and letting the Niners know, hey, y'all should probably bring me back after this year.
And that extension's looking better and better. Well, they just extended him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So that
good.
It's like they gave him a 3-year, $45 million deal, which is looking better and better. Let's see. Juwan Jennings earned a $667,000 bonus with his touchdown pass Sunday night, with it being his 9th touchdown pass of the season. I believe if he gets to 10, he can earn a total of $750,000 bonus, so it would go up about $75,000. Purdy on throws of 10 or more yards Sunday night, 9 for 11, 194 yards, 1 touchdown, 149.1 passer rating. Tonjes caught his 5th touchdown of the season Sunday night. He had 0 catches last season with the Bears. Did you know he was with the Bears last year? Because I didn't know that. Ricky Pearsall.
I remember. Wait, I did know that. I remember when we signed him, it was like a big deal. It was one of those the free agent things. It was like we tried to. He was the guy that we. Oh no!
That was Brock Wright.
With the
You're
Lions.
thinking about Brock Wright.
With the Lions, guy. That's
Brock
who
Wright.
I'm thinking about. Never mind.
He's their backup tight end. He was a restricted free agent.
I do want to say one other thing about Juwan Jennings really quick. You mentioned that Juwan Jennings stat. Did you think he was in the doghouse after that pick 6? Because they didn't target him for a long time after that. And I was like what? Like, are we just not going to use him at all anymore? Like, it was a long time before he got his next target. And I was like, yo, like, they got to start involving him. Ali called me on our final touchdown drive. He was like, bro, if we're going to do this, it's got to be through Juwan Jennings. And sure enough, it happened. So
I don't know if I thought he was in the doghouse. I thought that the Bears were taking him away. I thought, and that's why Tonjes was open. That's why McCaffrey was open. That's why Ricky was open. But he came alive in that 4th quarter. Second to last note, Ricky Pearsall almost missed this game. He went to Kyle Saturday morning saying that his, I don't know if it's knee or ankle. He had both injuries. I don't know which one. But he said that it was really hurting him, and he didn't think he was going to be able to go Sunday night. He ended up playing, and he had, 6 for 73?
Yeah.
I have the stat right here.
Thank God he was out there.
5 for 85 and a long of 30. He was cooking. He was absolutely cooking. Last note I have for you, Mike, and then we can wrap up. Brock Purdy in the month of December, since the next game will be in January. 95.3 PFF grade, 83.5% adjusted completion percentage, 976 total yards, 13 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 131.5 passer rating for the entire month of December.
I no longer want to hear about Brocktober. Fuck that. This guy is clutch. This guy is coming on right now in the month of December, heading into the playoffs. I told you guys that I want a Giants-like season from the 49ers. I said that I want to see us get hot at the right time. Who's hotter than the Niners offense right now? Tell me a single team. You guys just saw the bum-ass Rams, who everyone was saying was better than the Niners offensively, right? Y'all just saw them lose to the Falcons, guys. The Falcons with their backup quarterback out there, right? Like, tell me an offense that's hotter than the Niners right now. You can't. You can't. Let's go, baby.
Niner faithful, yes. Morstead's first punt since December. I knew this was happening when Adam Schefter tweeted out that BS the morning.
Yeah, man.
Talk about how Morstead hasn't punted and blah, 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 blah. Man, fuck you. You just totally jinxed us. Okay. I think that's going to do it for tonight's show. Matt couldn't make it, but we will make sure the 3 of us are together for the preview show. We'll put the date and time out for that shortly.
I'll even do a because I know Matt has thoughts on this game. I'll do a show on Nothing But Niners with Matt and just let him get his thoughts off on this game also. So you guys don't worry. You will get to hear Matt's takes on how this game went because I know he's got a lot to share. So I'll figure out when he's available.
This is the game that Matt was saying for the last month the 49ers were going to get whooped in. We're going to get ran all over. Mike, I read the stats just real quick. They had a total of 110 rushing yards. That's it. They averaged 5 yards a pop, but 54 yards by Swift and 38 yards by Monangai. That vaunted Bears rushing defense was not that great. Last super chat before we wrap up. Sean, $2. His new name is Ricky Glass Pearsall, blink and injured. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. He came back. He went down on his first catch, got checked out, and then played the rest of the game. So, and was impactful.
The truth is this, right? We've seen guys like Debo make one big play and go right to the sideline. We saw that the last 2 years Debo was here. As soon as he would make a play more than 13 yards, he's going to the sideline, sucking on oxygen or catching his breath, right? But this is different. To hear the news that Zach just shared about Saturday, him going to Kyle saying how bad he was hurting. And again, Matt, this is something that Matt talked about, and I know he wants to talk about this. Matt said that he falls down on his knees. Like, yes. We highlighted that in our pregame show or our preview show, that, it's just the way that he goes down, and we don't know if they're taught to do that or what, but he doesn't have the knees for it. And so he'll work through it, man. He's got to get some – this offseason is going to be really good to Ricky Pearsall. I'll leave it at that.
Last question for you, Mike. Should he start to play like Tyler Lockett and just go down as soon as he's about to get tackled?
Yeah. For the rest of this season, yeah, he should. Get your yards, do what you're doing when contact is coming. Just slide, baseball slide it every time, man.
Yeah.
Run that.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. We can win a Super Bowl with this offense with Ricky Pearsall. That's gonna do it for tonight's show, guys. Mike, you talked about your Patreon. Let the folks know where to find it for premium 49ers content. No,
I'm
over
good? All that, man. Patreon.com and 49ersHive, man. Make sure you guys are going over and following my guys over here, 49ers Hive, man. They put in a lot of good work. That's all I got for you guys, man.
Above all else, stay faithful. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. Be back soon.
Peace.